The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
It's a Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Think of all that we will share. Disney updates and fandom will take you everywhere. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters that will be together. Oh, 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 join our Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Two is twice as nice as one. Memories of friends and family, everybody is welcome. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters guiding you through Disney. Together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our fourth episode of the Neverland Clubhouse. This is the Disney podcast where we go to different park lands to share Disney stories, news, and what's going on with Disney Plus. We are your tour guides through Disney fandom. I'm Kelly, and this is my sister Courtney.
Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone! Yay! It's a new year!
I know, I'm so excited. Now, in every episode of Neverland Clubhouse, we'll go to a different land or two, maybe even three. In the Hollywood Backlot, we'll discuss and review Disney movies and TV. In Tomorrowland, we'll give you updates about the park and news and upcoming attractions. When we go to Main Street, we'll even help you navigate Disney parks and give our tips and tricks.
There is so much to share today. In this episode, we will head to Tomorrowland to discuss the loss of the annual pass holder program and tell you about the new addition of the Star Wars Trading Post to the downtown Disney shopping district. And then we will head over to the Hollywood Studios Backlot, where we meet up with our friend Drew Hayashida to break down the new upcoming shows and films from Disney, Pixar, Hulu, Disney Plus, FX, and National Geographic. We will also announce our giveaway winner of the Upside Down Magic DVD.
Okay, so let's get on the monorail and head into the parks, where our first stop will be Tomorrowland for the news and updates.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland monorail.
Annual passports are officially no longer a thing, and we are devastated.
I can't believe they did this.
Yeah, I mean, everybody online is talking about how they kind of saw it coming. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this because I've loved being a pass holder for so long. Maybe a little bit I saw it coming, but no, I had no idea. It blindsided me.
I mean, I think we always knew that they wanted to revamp the program. They wanted to make something different. They needed to add something or change something to make everything work for the people that go all the time and the people that are coming on vacation and everything. So we knew that they want to revamp it, but I didn't think they'd go as far as canceling the annual pass holder program altogether. That to me came as a shock.
Yeah. Even though right now, well, Disneyland's closed, it is kind of the perfect time. There is a little bit of chatter around the internet that they did it because when they reopen, they're going to be doing reservations. And a lot of the pass holders, especially the ones that are Signature Plus holders, they're paying for 365 days. And when we open with reservations, we may not get 365 days. So I understand it. Am I happy about it? No, but I understand it. We've been pass holders at least since 2003. I remember the first year we got it, I was a junior in high school because I was doing competitions down there. And so my parents just decided we were going to become pass holders on one of the trips, our national competition, right, Kelly? We were down there for dance national competition.
I think you were down there for the national competition, and they surprised us for my birthday, I think. And we were going to be able to go often to the parks. And
at that time, we were only SoCal passes, so it's like only $99 at the time.
Yeah, it was a great deal, actually, because I think we went at least once a month, and it's a great memory. We went with our mom most of the time on Sundays.
And my best friend Nicole and her family. It was something we enjoyed doing together.
We really tried hard to get those passports and annual passes so that we could go to Disneyland, because we love going to Disneyland together. We love going as a family. We loved going with friends. It became
definitely when I was working retail, it was a stress release. If I was too stressed out, I would go to Disneyland. And I do know since 2011, we became like consistent pass holders up until today when they discontinued it. So we've been pass holders for a very long time. So it's sad to see it close up, but we're excited for what they are going to be announcing.
I mean, there is rumor. I mean, it's just rumors and speculation at this point that a membership program might be coming. And I know that they said that they're going to be doing something for people that love Disney and want to go to Disney all the time. So I'm really hoping that this program is, one, affordable, and two, something that will quench our Disney thirst.
Yeah, because we were on the monthly payment system. We did not pay for it up front, so we were paying monthly. That's how we could afford to go. So I hope they keep something like that. But as with bad news, they gave us good news. And if you can get to Downtown Disney, they are giving you 30% off of all the merchandise Monday through Thursday. They did say that it was going to be in place until they come up with the new program, and then they would let us know. But they also did put a finite date on it. So it's from January 18th to February 25th, but only Monday through Thursday. So if you go on the weekends, Friday through Sunday, you can't get that 30% off.
Interesting restrictions.
I know, right? I mean,
because you can't the pass.
Exactly.
You might as well just give us the discount.
But I know that they have been saying that the weekends are busier than during the week.
Maybe it's to entice people to come during the week instead of weekends. Because annual pass holders usually mean locals. It's better for them to come during the weekdays so that people from out of town can come on the weekend. And maybe that's like a strategy.
Could be. Yeah, because I do know that from everybody who goes and puts it out on Instagram or whatever, they're like, the lines are so long on the weekends. And I'm like, well,
I mean, that's
there's social distancing.
Yeah. But we are getting refunded somehow for these annual passes for the last year. I don't know. They're going to prorate some accounting. It's going to be interesting.
I know. It sounds like they have a lot of math ahead of them. I know I couldn't do it.
No, there's a lot going on with these refunds. And I don't know if I am getting one or not. I really don't know.
Yeah, because yours expired completely, right?
Mine expired completely in May. So they stopped payments in March. So I had from May to March to use it. So I don't know what that refund would look like.
Well, one I'm reading at is I think you probably get refunded for the months that you were active but didn't use anything. But yeah, mine renews in December. Well, actually it renews in November, but last year they did buy a year, get a month free. So I didn't really pay anything for December, but it renewed in December. And then I was paying for January, February, and March. And then because we were on monthly, they just stopped the payments once they closed on the 14th.
But you had actually called to extend your pass.
Yes, I did do the extension. So
and mine expired completely and I did not call.
Right. But I didn't get any refunds. So they're saying that the formula for this is the total amount paid toward a passport minus any refunds given. So if you called them and asked them for a refund for March 14th when they closed, then they're going to minus that amount that you've already been refunded. And then they're going to also minus the usable value of a passport, which is probably the amount of days that you're paying for prior to March 14th.
Again, that's a lot of math, so we'll leave that to the Disney accountants.
And it's pretty much the same thing for if you paid full price, monthly payments, or if you're on the Premier Pass that gives you access to both coasts. The only thing with both the Premier one is it's actually going away permanently on March 31st. So if you're going to do anything with it, definitely do it before that date. And I think the only thing else besides getting a full refund for the numbers of days that you don't go is turning it into a Walt Disney World passport.
So how will these refunds be sent to us? Do you know?
Well, if you paid for it by credit card, it's just going to go back to the credit card that you used. If it's expired or you lost it, it's probably best to call Disney annual pass holder hotline and to call Disney and see what they can do for you. And then also,
I'm sure they'll be able to send you a check.
If you don't call them, then they're just going to send it to you in a check is what they said. So make sure you also have your correct address on file with them.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a bummer that we won't be having our annual passes anymore, but we look forward to the future and we want good things to come our way with maybe a membership program, however that may work.
It sounds like they're going to have it by February 25th.
I mean, if that's what they're shooting for, I'll take it.
Right.
But we still don't have an opening date of Disneyland, so we will be saving money on our annual passes, but we know where you can spend it at the Star Wars trading post coming to downtown Disney in Anaheim.
Absolutely. I want to do that. Star Wars, take my money.
Of course. So this will be so fun. The Imagineers are going to turn the old Rainforest Cafe into a Star Wars trading post.
Yeah, I'm so excited because if the Imagineers are involved, it's going to be ingrained with
details.
Details.
I know Rey's theater is going to be outside.
Mm-hmm. They've only said that it's going to be for merchandise so far. So I'm hoping that we'll get more stuff will come.
Hopefully we'll get some of that more Galaxy's Edge new merchandise, maybe. Stuff that they may have had on the back burner and now can put out.
Definitely. And it already has that ancient ruins kind of things, vibe going on. Yeah, jungle vibe going
hideout
on.
Hideout type of thing. Yeah, It does.
So it already looks like it should be in Batuu. So it's definitely a good move choice because the in the space where it was before, it looked kind of okay, but it still was weird.
But we don't have an opening date for this store as of yet.
No. I'm hoping it comes soon, though. Sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later would be good, especially since we're not getting Disneyland open.
Right.
It gives you a reason to go downtown, something new, downtown Disney.
Definitely. And so with that also, the Wonderground Gallery, where the trading post used to be, they're going to go back to being the Wonderground Gallery, which was a store at downtown Disney that sold mostly art pieces and would have artists in there signing their work and working on new pieces as well. And they would also sell Shag stuff, which he was big on Haunted Mansion merchandise. He's an artist. So it's going to go back to what it was, but it's also going to now sell Spirit jerseys and housewares and as well as the art pieces.
I love the Wonderground Gallery. I always like looking in there. Everything's
Can't afford
a little on the
yeah.
expensive side, but we love looking.
Yes, good to look. I bought a couple of pins there, like blind pin boxes, but nothing like art, vast art stuff. But I would love to. Maybe one day.
But speaking of updates at Downtown Disney, Disney is helping to facilitate administering vaccines by turning the Toy Story parking lot into Orange County's vaccine superstore site. I really hope that this helps get Disneyland open sooner, because if there's more vaccines out there, then people will be ready to open up Disneyland.
Yes, I'm very happy to hear this, because now lots of people can get vaccinated all at once. Hopefully this gets us faster to reopening.
Yes, this will help us to get to Disneyland's reopening sooner, and they're teasing us. You know they love to do that. They're teasing us with Avengers Campus. We had got a little preview of the Web Slinger.
Yes, with Tom Holland doing his lines and showing us how they filmed his part in the ride. Yeah. I think in the pre-show.
This is just a little 1-minute clip on YouTube on Disney Parks. They definitely teasing that opening, and I want it so bad.
Yeah, it said it's supposed to open in 2021, so they are probably looking to open Disneyland later this year, if they say that, and Avengers Campus is going to be ready to open.
I hope so. I can't wait to go.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, Disney World is slowly starting to open up more with breaking news that entertainment is returning to Walt Disney World this summer. We're so happy for them.
This is great. We had friends in the entertainment department at Disney World, and this is wonderful news that they can bring back some entertainment into the park.
So the show they're bringing back this summer is Festival of the Lion King. They are making adjustments to the show on stage and as well as backstage, including updates to choreography and audience seating. And they will be bringing back singers, dancers, technicians, and probably usher cast members to usher in all of the audience members.
All this means is just more people having jobs, more people in the parks, and
getting back to normal.
And getting back to normal and getting back to the happiness and spreading the joy. Love it.
Last month, we did a film review of Disney Channel's original movie, Upside Down Magic. And at the end of that review, we announced our first giveaway that we were going to do. We asked you to go to Instagram and comment and like that post. And you did it. And we were so happy. There were so many entries. It was hard to name a winner, but we are going to announce that winner today.
All right. So that winner is Connie Shee.
Yay! Congratulations, Connie. We'll be contacting you to get your information to send you that DVD copy of Upside Down Magic.
And to follow us on Instagram, it's at Neverland Clubhouse Pod.
Now, let's talk once again with our friend Drew Hayashida, who is also a Disneyland live show performer and Walt Disney Studio tour guide, about all of the new Disney content coming our way in the next couple of years. So let's head over to the Hollywood Studios Backlot for that in-depth discussion. Welcome, Drew.
So good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you, too.
All right. So what's going on with the Disney television studios, Courtney?
I am so excited for these. Well, first, right out the gate, we're going to get a Mighty Ducks Game Changer, which I don't think we've ever heard that before. It's just been the Mighty Ducks series. So it's going to be Mighty Ducks Game Changer with Emilio Estevez and Lauren Graham. Turner and Hooch with Josh Peck, who used to be on Nickelodeon, with Drake and Josh. Big Shots with John Stamos and directed by David E. Kelly. What do we think of those four?
Oh my goodness. I love Lauren Graham, Mighty Ducks. Those movies were really funny when we were little. Josh Peck is hilarious. I can't wait to see him do Turner and Hooch. And John Stamos, who doesn't love him? So
right.
I think they all sound fun. I like there's continuity between the movies of the Mighty Ducks and this new show. I love the idea that they're once again taking, kids who may be outside the norm and making them into a team and work together. I love that. So the themes are still there that were there before. They're just kind of refreshing it, which is great. Turner and Hooch is that's kind of a wacky thing. So I'll tune in just to see, because I like, just like you, I like the actors. I remember the original Tom Hanks movie, which was okay. It wasn't like one of his best ever, but it was fine. I mean, I'd love it if they could get Tom Hanks to come back, for a cameo. Yeah. I doubt it, but you never know. So all of those, I think, show a lot of promise and kind of fun,
Yeah. Very fun.
Big Shots being I think it's about middle school basketball team. So girls basketball team. So John Stamos has to coach basketball. That's something we haven't seen him do. So I think that'll be really funny.
Yeah, but the next one, the Beauty and the Beast prequel, is, I want to see this so bad. Josh Gad, Luke Evans is back. Alan Menken's doing new music. I can't wait.
I think that's going to be fantastic. I think that's going to draw so many people to that particular one. I'm excited to learn what happens before she meets the Beast. You know, all of that. There's a ton of backstory you could do.
Yeah.
Those two guys in the live action, man, they had such chemistry. They just were so funny and so interesting. So, yeah, to kind of see, I mean, are we going to see how they met? I mean, there's lots of ideas that can go part of that. So I'd love that.
Yeah. But I'm definitely liking where it's going. Another one we didn't get too much information about was Swiss Family Robinson is going to be made into a series. I think it should have always been a series. Yeah, they said a series. I think it should have gotten a series a long time ago. I think there's so much that you could explore with the family stranded on a island in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, if Gilligan's Island is any testament to that, yes, of course.
Gilligan's Island.
I love it.
Is this a period piece, or does this take place today? Do we know, or we don't really know much?
You know what? It went by so fast. They just said Swiss Family Robinson. So I hope that it's a period piece, but I'm not sure. And then they took the rights from Percy Jackson and put it on Disney Plus, and now they're going to make it into a series. I
believe those books were originally produced through Disney Publishing, so those are Disney books.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can, because I understand that I have never seen any of the movies. I think there's 2 of them, or is there 3? But I never saw the Percy Jackson.
There is 2 of them. I know for a fact that I've seen the first one, but I can't remember whether or not I saw the second one, which means I need to watch it on Disney Plus. But I think me being such a big fan of Greek mythology, I would love to see where this series goes. And I know they have a plethora of books to follow, but I would really like them to, follow the Greek mythology and bring in characters from there.
I think that was one of the biggest challenges that the readers of the books had with the movies, is that it strayed a little bit far. That's what I heard. I never read the books.
Yeah, I think in the second movie they strayed a little far, at least. But then again, even Hercules: The Legendary Journeys took liberties. So,
well, that's a completely different,
I know it's a different beast altogether.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's super fun, but just throw the actual legend away,
Mm-hmm. Right. And then the next one we got was is a brand new one. It's called The Mysterious Benedict Society. And I believe these are books, but I've never read them. So I have no idea what it's about.
It's a mystery.
It's mysterious. But I like, we did get a trailer for it, right? I believe. And it looked interesting.
Well, but the next one is what we're all excited for, right?
I screamed when this one was announced. I was like, yes! And we're talking about Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, yeah. Right.
If you don't know, we did a whole Hocus Pocus thing on our first podcast. And we love Hocus Pocus. But Adam Shankman is set to direct it.
Not Kenny Ortega.
Which is fine.
Ortega. I mean, I like Adam Shankman too, Hairspray and all of that. So I feel like he's a fine
I think they're very similar directors. I think they are very similar directors.
Now, I heard rumors that they got the original actors from the first Hocus Pocus.
I heard Bet say that they were all on board. I'm not sure.
I've heard that as well. It was not announced, though.
It was not announced at the investors meeting, so they did not say that they had them on board, but they've been getting together all year long, or, and for the last couple of years too, for various Hocus Pocus celebrations, especially just this past October. Bet both had Sarah and Kathy for her New York restoration project, where they got dressed up as, the Sanderson sisters and did a whole thing. So, and we covered that in our second episode too. We saw that and that was bizarre. It was great, but it was bizarre. So I feel like, if anything, they would be on board, but I don't know if it would just be in a cameo or if it would actually be around them. I'm not sure. Nobody Nobody said anything about a synopsis or anything. They just said that it is coming as a Halloween movie to Disney Plus.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And then we have that I found. Okay, well, I found it interesting that they are redoing 3 Men and a Baby, and I just recently watched this on Disney Plus. But even more interesting that Zac Efron is already attached. So what do we think? Is he going to be in the Steve Guttenberg role or the Ted Danson or the which role is he going to be in?
I don't know, but I'm down. I love Zac Efron.
He's too pretty. He's got to be the actor. You know what I mean? Like,
right? He's got to be the Ted Danson one, right?
Yeah.
Which means this kid is going to be his kid, though, unless they change the story.
It'll be interesting to see what other two actors they find for the other two roles, and I'm sure they'll be of that same kind of caliber. Right. So people that we know, so that'll be fun.
I hope so. Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting that they I know that's one movie that I never really thought of them rebooting, but very interesting take on that.
Well, I mean, I think that's another theme of all the things that we're hearing about is dipping deeper into the library of stuff that Disney has, no matter what the properties are, because I think even Tim Allen, I mean, it wasn't announced, but Tim Allen has been buzzing about doing another Santa Claus, right? So it's a reboot, but it's not, it's a sequel, but it kind of is a reboot kind of stuff. So that if you're not too familiar with it, you can still watch it with fresh eyes. But if you're into the series, then you're going to be even deeper into what's being represented. It's a great strategy. And as long as I like what Bob Iger said during the meeting, it's all about the quality. As long as the quality, Mandalorian is a great example of quality, man. Those could be movies, really. Yeah. I mean, they're so well done.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah, if as long as these things are good, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was a time when Disney Channel original movies were just great, and then the quality kind of went by the wayside too. So I'm hoping that all of these are great quality and doesn't go the way of the original channel movies, because we loved those. We love those still. I still will watch them, and a lot of them have, not aged well, but some of them have, and, it just depends. But also I hope that they stay true to what they said, and they're going to invest a lot of time and money in these projects and make them great quality for the platform. Yeah. So I was just going to say that we're now going to get a bunch of new ones. Flora and a New Ulysses. It was based off of a book. They said it was about a girl and her squirrel.
She rescues
then we're going to get a reboot of Cheaper by
superhero powers. Yep.
Okay. So we're going to get Squirrel. And then we're going to get Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but it's going to be animated.
Oh, right.
Kind of
the film
what they showed.
Live action, right?
Yeah. Right now they're live action, and they said they were going to be animated, but it also looked like it was maybe going to be stop motion, because it didn't look like 2D drawing when they showed just a little snippet of it. It looked like
Diary of a Wimpy Kid was
maybe
a little bit
clay
after my growing up, so I'm not exactly sure. But I think the books, the drawings on the covers are very simple. So
they're stick figure.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to do something kind of like their covers. I don't know.
It definitely has an interesting look, and I think that that's the wonderful thing about animation is you can create any world you want. So there's, if they do it right, it could be really interesting to look at, as well as I'm sure the story is going to be. I've never read the books and I've never seen the movies either, so I can only assume. But I like the style of it, so we'll see how that plays out. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
So then Disney is pulling from their 20th Century Fox lineup, and they're pulling Ice Age back for the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Now, Ice Age has a lot of sequels.
Five Ice Age movies.
Yeah, 5 of them.
There's 5 Ice Age movies.
But I think they all center around the main characters, right? And this one, they said that they were veering off into Simon Pegg's character and his family. So
yeah,
maybe it's a different perspective. I don't think they're getting everybody back for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it says the story centers on 3 series favorites, the Pankster Possum Brothers, Crash and Eddie, and the swashbuckling titular weasel Buck. So I think these were in the later sequels.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Ice Age and Ice Age 2, but then after that, I kind of dropped off. So I'm excited. I mean, I am. I just, it's probably not on the top of my list.
I mean, I feel like Disney would not be doing a service to 20th Century Fox movies if they didn't dip into this franchise, because this franchise was really huge for 20th Century Fox. So I'm glad that they're trying to do something with it.
I am too, especially because, a lot of people don't realize is with the acquisition of 21st Century Fox originally, was that they also acquired Blue Sky Animation, which is the studio that did the Ice Age movies. They also did the Peanuts movie. A lot of people don't remember that. So they have an extraordinary, talented group of folks doing some fun things. And I hope it works out for that reason. I'm not necessarily the biggest Ice Age fan. I don't hate them by any means. It's just kind of like what you're saying earlier. I'm not necessarily drawn to it, this series, but I'm curious to see. I mean, I think this is the best way to go, because I don't know how much further you can go with the characters that we have. So this is a different way to explore the universe.
I agree.
Okay, so then they're dipping into the 20th Century Fox bucket again with Night at the Museum, which was very successful as well for their franchise. They had 2 movies. And now they're going
They had 3 movies. They had 3 movies.
Sorry, 3 movies. But this time it's going to be animated. I think it'll be a movie. It could be a series, but it doesn't say exactly.
I wonder who's doing it. I wonder if that's a Blue Sky thing too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be.
It might be.
It says that Sean Levy is attached to it as the producer.
As producer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they had to go that way because with the Teddy Roosevelt and Amelia Earhart all coming alive, with the example of Teddy Roosevelt, that was Robin Williams. So
yeah,
we don't have Teddy anymore. So, and the Amelia Earhart, I believe that was portrayed by Amy Adams. So, I mean, all these people are way more famous than they were when they did Night in the Museum. So maybe turning it animated, it'll, not be maybe so much of a big project. Yeah. Yeah. Or they could get those people back in some capacity, but just their voice, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be so much of a burden to get them back, to fit that into their schedule, to bring them back to these old characters. You know what I mean? So, well,
in a museum, it always changes exhibits. So yeah. You never know.
It'd be interesting. We don't know if this is a sequel or if it's a reboot or what, right?
They didn't say.
It's animated, so we're not exactly sure.
They just said that they could explore it more in animation than they could live action.
And there's truth to that, I think. It'd be interesting, they had a lot of really fun characters, and I love the original series. I thought they were all good, and the ability to, with animation, once again, you can do anything. So what different kinds of characters could we see, and things that come to life in a museum, immediately that comes to mind is a museum also has paintings. Will we be able to dive into paintings and stuff? Can we see a Picasso or something and do that in the style of the painter? I honestly don't know. There's so many different directions you can go with this thing.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it, actually.
Yeah, it could be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
But one that I am really excited about is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
They are finally rebooting it. Yeah, with John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as Chip and Dale.
Ugh, I cannot wait.
It doesn't get better than that.
No.
Well, chipmunks in the real world, man. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that.
I know.
It better be CGI.
Well, it's
and not animated.
Going to, but this is going to be really cool. And then Seth Rogen doing a cameo.
Well, you already know the tone, just based upon that. Is you already okay, it's going to be fun. This is going to be a fun.
And that was for the nostalgic Disney afternoon people. You know that, right? For us. It's for us.
If you have not watched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, it's on Disney Plus. Go watch it right now.
So not only do we Chip and Dale, but we also get another iteration of Peter Pan with Peter Pan and Wendy. David Lowery directing.
I think this could be good. And because it's not exactly like Peter Pan, it's Peter Pan and Wendy. I don't know if we're getting the same storyline, a different storyline, a remake, or if it's just going to be like a different thing altogether. I don't know. But to me, it kind of is maybe more like a sequel, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
I know. I kind of feel the same way. Sometimes these vagaries, kind of like, okay, I'm not sure what the movie is. I mean, obviously it's going to focus upon the relationship between Peter Pan and Wendy more. So that's going to be a bigger part of the story. It could definitely be a sequel in a way. I mean, I think it's a reimagining and a sequel at the same time, if you go that way. I don't think Disney at this point want to remake that same Peter Pan story again. My personal feeling. So maybe it's more like a sequel. But I don't know if it's good. I don't think it's going to be like Hook, where it's so far, he's 20 years older. I don't think it's going to be something like that. I like the casting. I think it gives it personality. So yeah, as with all things, we'll see. I can't wait to hear more, I guess, is my feeling.
Yeah. And also with it, and there's been a lot of like rumors about it online. So I'm really surprised that they didn't announce who's Peter Pan and who's Wendy. They only announced who's Tinkerbell and who's Captain Hook, which I'm super excited about Jude Law being Captain Hook. And I do like the casting of Tinkerbell. How do you say her name?
Yara Shahidi.
Yeah.
Because she's great.
I feel that, I feel like Tinkerbell could be whatever, but for this being around the rumor mill for so long, I'm just surprised that they didn't announce who Peter is and who Wendy is.
Contracts, I'm sure.
And maybe that's not finalized yet.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not finalized. Who knows? And then we get the long-awaited Disenchanted with Miss Amy Adams back as Giselle as a sequel to Enchanted, which I believe Alan Menken himself said he was working on music for that as well.
Oh, a long time ago.
One of the times we saw him at D23. Yeah. And he said it at D23 so long ago. Like, I think when he was doing the one-man show in 2017.
Yeah, not the last one.
Yeah, I'm writing new music for Enchanted too.
We were like, what?
Oops.
Alan Menken loves to do that, because he even said something about Hercules, the stage show, before they even announced anything about Hercules, the stage show. He's like, yeah, I'm writing music for it right now. All right.
But he's Alan Menken, you give him a pass,
Right?
That's okay.
That's okay.
He can say what he wants.
Did they say Patrick Dempsey was coming back or no?
No, they just said Amy Adams was coming back for sure. They didn't even say anything about Idina.
Oh yeah, Idina
being like in the cartoon world or anything like
that.
Well,
Idina,
'cause that's where we left her,
being the one that he broke up with, right? So I would say
but she was in the cartoon world, like she stayed animated because that's where she wanted to be. And then Giselle stayed with Patrick Dempsey, and then Susan Sarandon's character, the Maleficent character or Evil Queen, she's gone. Like they killed her. So who's gonna be who are we coming up against?
Well, the name Disenchantment to me either means either we're going to take back everything that we established in Enchanted, or everything's going to go wrong. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's an interesting idea. If, our hero, she's grown so much and she's like, I miss being animated, I miss being a princess. Mm-hmm. But, and that could be part of the character, maybe it's a swap. So we start off in the live action world and then we spend a good chunk of the time in the animated world. I mean, maybe something like that. I don't know. And you're right. Who's the villain? Who's the big bad in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody said anything, and Susan Sarandon got killed. So yeah, I don't know. Well, not the actress, the character.
Right. But I'm like, when they announced it, I was like, finally, yay, we have official confirmation this is happening, because I loved the first one so much, and I can't wait to see these people again. I don't think you could do Disenchanted without Patrick Dempsey unless something happens to his character. So, I mean, why wouldn't he? but I think, I'm very excited to see where they take this, and great music, Alan Menken. So I mean, so much potential here. I can't wait. I love these characters. I can't wait to see them again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have Whoopi Goldberg coming back for Sister Act 3.
Speaking of sisters, you guys are like sisters. You guys read each other's minds.
Oh, yeah. If we were face to face in the same room, it would have happened at the exact same time.
I love it.
But Sister Act, one of my favorite movies. So I was very ecstatic to see Sister Act 3 happen, especially since Whoopi Goldberg has been so intricate to the stage play too, that I think she was a producer on it. I think
so.
I think she produced it to get it up off the ground. And so, and just listening to the soundtrack of Sister Act, the musical, that had such great songs attached to that I'm just like, yes, I've been wanting more Sister Act for a long time. So love these movies.
Yeah, the first one.
Well, and Tyler Perry's also on board with that.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
I love that. So we're gonna get the humor. We're gonna get the great acting from Whoopi Goldberg, the great writing. We're gonna get it. I think that's gonna be a good cherry on the top thing.
They've had a long time to think about it.
Right? And but they also need Kathy and Jimmy to be back. So
I agree.
I think she needs to be back.
If we see any of the ensemble cast from the first two movies, that would be so cool.
And then we get into the long-awaited The Jungle Cruise with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
We would have had this
Emily
already
Blunt.
if it wasn't for this pandemic.
I know. And I cannot wait for this movie. I've been wanting to see it for a long time. It needs to either just get out there. I know they're waiting for a theatrical replus, but I would like to see it in premiere access. I don't know. I just need this movie now. That's all.
I agree. So exciting. Great cast.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, Dwayne Johnson. Cruise is awesome. And I can't wait to see that either.
So in.
Plus, Jack Whitehall, he is hilarious. So I love him. Yeah. And then, we got an announcement of the Lion King live action prequel. Now, I know with the Lion King and how well it did, they said that they were looking to do a second one, but I'm interested because it says prequel. Now, I like the Lion King, but it's not my favorite. I've always been very vocal about that. And I was not a fan of the live action movie. I thought it was shot for shot, and I don't like Beyonce. Sorry, guys out there. I don't like Beyonce.
Please don't come after us.
Yeah, please don't. Like, hate.
Don't at me. But I did not like that portion of it. So a prequel, I'm interested about though, because I did really like in the animated world.
I would be interested in if we got more of the Mufasa Scar story.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. Yeah,
the brothers.
If it's going to be a prequel, it should be about Mufasa and Scar. I did like Lion King 1.5, where it went through the original animated from Timon and Pumbaa's side of the story. I do like that. I feel like they could kind of do something like that here, where they focus on Timon and Pumbaa and how they met, and do that kind of like what they did with the series. There's lots of ways that they could take it, not doing similar.
With Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner, that is a funny duo. So if
they made the movie for me,
if they're going that route, that could be hilarious too. But I just think if you're going prequel and before all of that happened, then you got to go Mufasa and Scar, which could be very interesting to figure out their relationship and how that all came about.
Yeah, why is he so mad about his brother? I mean, obviously he wants to be king, but there's got to be more to it, right?
This could be all Mufasa, not Mufasa, but Scar's story, because you're right. I mean, he's definitely got issues. So, what happened?
And if it gives Scar a soul, maybe that'll be like a Maleficent sort of thing. With
or even further on, more Darth Vader. Like the prequels basically gave him a soul, Darth Vader.
Yeah. So if you're going to give a prequel, I would love to see that. If not, there's an idea.
Right?
There you go. A freebie. There you are.
Right. So then we get to the Little Mermaid, which has been announced. It's the live action Little Mermaid with Haley Bailey as Ariel, and we got some other cast announced with Aquafina as Scuttle, David Diggs as Sebastian, Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Javier Bardem as King Triton, and Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, with music by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Alan Menken.
Wow.
Perfect.
There are parts of this that I'm so sold on.
Yeah. Done.
I cannot wait to see Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. She gonna kill it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, if you just watch the movie that she was in, The Kitchen, oh my goodness, she's so good in that. It's drama. She plays a bad guy. It's great. It's awesome. Like, that was like her audition for Ursula. Like, she sold me on it.
And I also think there's that comedic personality trait of Ursula, where she is a villain, but she's a little funny, a little sneaky, a little manipulative. You know, I think Melissa McCarthy can definitely do that.
She'd be great. Like, the Ursula character would be great on like Project Runway. You could just see like, like, it'd be great.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, and David Diggs as Sebastian, I love that casting. And then we have Cruella. I can't wait for this one too. Emma Stone as Cruella DeVille,
and Emma Thompson
as Baroness.
I'm like, Emma squared? Yes.
But the funny thing is that they said it's going to be set in the 1970s punk rock London.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I think we saw some stills of Emma Stone on location filming a little bit before the pandemic, so I think this is going to be really good. I can't wait for this one. Again, kind of giving a villain a soul, hopefully, because it centers around her, and if she's going to be the main focus of the movie, then we're going to have to give her a soul and figure out why the way she is.
Yeah, we know so little about her background, really. So this,
right? We just know she wants to, steal puppies and make coats out of them. So what happened to make her do that?
And there's a little bit of the going insane. She's a little, I don't want to say like disturbed, but she, that's the way they portray her in the movie a little bit. So to figure out what's behind that will be awesome. I love that. Emma Stone's going to kill it. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then we go into Raya and the Last Dragon, which is their main one that they're working on right now and releasing on March 5th. And the day it goes into theaters, it is going to be premiere access. They did not give us a price point, though, on it. So do we think it's going to be $30 like Mulan, or do you think it's going to be a little less because to me, an animated movie has a bigger budget, but I don't know, $30 for a live action movie, and then for Soul to come on for free, but then this one's going to be premiere access. Like, do you think it'll be $30, or do you think it'll be less or more?
I'm not sure on the train of thought on this, because they had the premiere access on Mulan. They don't have it on Soul. They're going to have it back for a couple different movies next year. So I don't know if this is still like the testing phase to see what people will pay, how much people will pay. Can they reap their money back? Can they get their return back on the movie doing this? I'm not sure what the thought process is behind this, but I'm sure people out there will pay it.
I think there's a lot of unknowns. There was a lot of people resistant to the $30 price point for Mulan. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed with that just to be consistent. But I also would not be surprised if it was a little bit less, because they're going to release it, in select movie theaters by March. I don't think all movie theaters will be open yet. No. I think some might, but I don't think it's going to be across the board yet. You got to balance that. I think mostly when they say it's going to be released in the theaters, it's overseas, because they count on those theaters to be open. Mulan was one of those movies too. I think it's still feeling out what people are willing to do and how much and all these kinds of things. And yes, recouping their investment. Absolutely. Always. it's interesting because Mulan was a remake. So you can almost see like, well, there's a certain amount of demand for that. It's a named property. Raya and the Last Dragon is not. It does have some great actors in it, but we don't know too much about it. And I think there's a lot of unknown. So I think it is kind of like, we'll see. I think it does show confidence that they're looking at it to be a premiere access. So I think that says that they feel like they have a good movie worth the price. But I think we'll see.
Do we feel like a $20 price, like a $19.99?
I mean, I think the other streaming services, they've done $20, I think.
Well, I know on video on demand, when Trolls went out, it was $19.99 to rent it. At first, I don't think you could keep it for more than 2 days. And then I do know that Warner Brothers, they're just automatically putting out the title on HBO Max the same day with no fee, no premiere access, no nothing. So it just is premiering on the service the day that it goes into the theaters. I do know that I read in an article,
but HBO Max is more expensive.
It is $14.99. Yeah, it is $14.99 versus the $6.99 a month. But it's also free if you have AT&T subscription, like on your TV. So if you're with AT&T, then you get HBO Max for free. So there's a lot of people who are doing that as well. But I did hear read in an article that said Universal made a deal with the theaters that their movies have to be in a theater for 17 days before they can release it on video on demand. Wow. So it's different. It's just really weird on how each studio is approaching this and what the theaters are allowing and not allowing.
It's still territory, all of this.
Yeah.
We're still like trying to figure out what makes sense and what people are willing to do and what people will do with their hard-earned dollars. So it's, I think Warner Brothers took a big chance. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they did, but I love going to the movie theaters myself, and I'd hate the idea that they're helping to erode that. Having said that, I also don't want to like get this awful virus. So
yeah, right.
Right.
It's really, really hard. And I think that's what all the studios are wrestling with and what makes sense right now. They really are pushing Disney Plus very hard. So there's going to be definitely a focus, obviously, from this presentation. Almost everything at some point or the other is going to end up on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is that they don't know what the world is going to look like when we all come out of this pandemic. What people will do, where people will go, how people will consume things. It's all changed for everyone, and for retailers, for companies like Disney, companies like Universal, to kind of predict that is so unknown right now.
Yeah.
Although I think one commentator said after Warner's made their announcement for HBO Max, putting everything on there, is that the genie's out of the bottle now. You can't put it back completely. So even when movie theaters open up totally, which will happen.
I mean, before everything shut down, we were A-list members of the AMC. We went to movies as much as we could in the theater. We love doing that. We've done that since we were kids. So we definitely don't lose that theater experience. But there's so many people out there just like, let me watch it at home. And yeah, people are going to let you watch it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going away. I don't think that's exciting times.
All right. So then we have Encanto, which is the tale of madrigals who live in the hidden mountains of Colombia in a magical house. Love this. This is getting more stories, different cultures, getting it out there. It's amazing.
This is what happens when you've exhausted all the princess stories from Europe, like we don't have any more. There's no more left. Where do we go?
Right. Synopsis here says the magic of Encanto has blessed every child in the family with a unique gift, from super strength to the power to heal. Every child except one, Mirabelle, but she discovers the magic surrounding Encanto is in danger. Mirabelle decides that she, the only ordinary magical, might just be the exceptional family's last hope. So I don't know. It says it's supposed to be by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So they have him everywhere doing lots of different things.
This is an interesting story. It's a twist on
Yeah.
usually a superhero movie is like
Superheroes,
you're a superhero and nobody else is, and now this time it's switched. Everybody's a superhero except for you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of like that angle, as well as the
Yeah, and
cultural
she's
angle.
like, well, everybody's in danger if they have powers, so I don't have powers, so I have to save the day. So that might be interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's something to
I'd
that, I
watch
think.
it.
Well, definitely, yes. So then we get a bunch of TV shows: Baymax, Zootopia Plus, Iwaju, Tiana, Moana, all of that, which is great. I love that. I've heard of the Baymax series. I think a while ago I heard it was going to happen, but I don't know. And Moana, I want to see more Moana. I want to see more Pua
Yeah.
in my life. The pig in Moana.
Yeah.
It's very sad to watch the DVD and realize Pua got cut in every deleted scene.
Poor Pua got no love. No love.
He got no love. He got no love.
But that plush sold faster than anything else, man.
Oh, and we have like 3 of them. We have 3 of them.
Oh, there's Pua. Yay.
Yeah, I got him on the Disney Studios lot before Moana even came out. And I was obsessed with Pua. I love him. I have in the movie, and Pua is not in the movie at all. He's not.
Well, like one little scene.
Don't
One
remedy
little
that
scene.
right in the show.
Dang it. And then when I got the DVD, I was like, he's in all the deleted scenes.
What did you do?
So I'm hoping that with this series, I'm championing the Pua train. Let's get more Pua on screen.
Yeah.
I didn't. I missed a little bit of some of the presentation. So what did they say about the Baymax show? Because there's been a Big Hero 6 TV show.
Right. So what they said about Baymax is that it is going to be about Baymax doing his original protocol, that he's a healthcare provider and that he's going to use there's going to be a special technology or something like that he's going to go around the city and find people who need his help with healthcare. So he's going to help do his original protocol. So that's what Baymax is.
That sounds like one of those.
I know.
Like I'm going to need a hanky every episode.
Right.
Probably.
And it's animated.
Yeah. So he's going to go around saving people. I'm just, oh my gosh, Baymax is awesome.
But that's what she said, is that he's going to do his original protocol that he was originally supposed to do and not be like a superhero. He was just going to be the healthcare professional. I don't know if Tadashi is going to be back or anything like that, but who built him, but definitely they're going to focus on that protocol.
Interesting. Okay. I love Baymax.
And Zootopia Plus, they're gonna dive into the lives of the people in Zootopia, and we're gonna get more Flash, which is the sloth, more of Gazelle's backup tiger dancers, and Frou, the newly married Arctic shrew. So
Sure. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm all in on that one too.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. And Tiana will be getting her own series. So that is...
Which everybody was excited when she's
Tiana.
getting her own ride. So, own ride, own show.
Yeah.
Good.
And I'm so glad we get to see her be human most of the time, like less frog, more Tiana.
Yes.
Yay,
Yeah, and we get to see Maldonia too.
That's what I thought was interesting, is we're going to get to see Maldonia and go back and forth between Aldonia and New Orleans, maybe. That'll be very, very interesting. All right.
Those are great. But we're not going to get them until 2023.
Yeah.
Those two.
Well,
Tiana and Moana. But that's okay. We can
a
wait.
lot of these things are just in the pipeline and in the works, so we don't know when they will happen, but we hope they all will happen.
And I like that they're staying musical, like Tiana and Moana are going to be musicals. So I wonder if the original, writers are going to, like Lin-Manuel for Moana and Randy Newman for Tiana. I mean, that'd be great if they would come back and write some more songs.
I hope so, because
and
it worked wonders for Tangled. So
yeah, and I know that they got Moana's voice actress. I forget.
Yeah,
her name
she's
right
fantastic.
now. She posted about it the day after, so she.
she did. I didn't see that.
I'm hoping Anika Nona Rose will be Tiana.
I think she
Gotta
will.
have her.
She's pretty much invested in the character. So she was so invested even with Wreck-It Ralph about how her character looks. So I think she'll be invested in the show. So
gotta have her. And she's so, oh my gosh, she's so talented. You know, she's so
I
great.
know, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they announced 4 new shows that are currently in production for Hulu, starting with Only Murders in the Building. This is 3 strangers who share an obsession with true crime. Suddenly they find themselves caught up in a crime themselves. This has Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez attached to it.
So a drama.
Very much a drama.
Yeah. So what do we feel about this one?
Selena Gomez has not done much acting lately, so I'm intrigued to see that.
Yeah, I'm in. You know, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm curious how they're going to approach this particular show, what the tone is. And again, the talent, they're going to add so much to whatever it is that they do. It'll be really, really interesting to see. So I'm in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we all know that Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez can do comedy. Wizards of Waverly Place was very comedic at times with Selena Gomez. So it will be interesting to see is it a dramatic? Is it a dramatic comedy? What is it? So I'm interested in that as well. So I'm also loving that they have new things coming to Hulu and that they did not leave Hulu out because of all the Disney Plus stuff. But Hulu's there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have The Dropout. It's a TV series that chronicles Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes and attempts to revolutionize the healthcare industry after dropping out of college and starting a technology company. This has Kate McKinnon in it from Saturday Night Live. What are we thinking on that?
I'm interested to see how she does. It sounds like it's going to be a drama if it's about a real life situation. I haven't seen her much in a dramatic form, but I think she can do anything. So
I agree. I think she's brilliant. She adds a quirkiness to everything she does, and which just layers onto whatever character she plays. So I think she's extraordinary. Looking forward to seeing her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the next one they have is Dope Sick. A compassionate school doctor finds himself embroiled in a sinister corporate scheme that perpetuates America's opioid addiction crisis. This has Michael Keaton, Rosario Dawson, and Peter Sarsgaard.
I mean,
that's a mix of characters there. I don't know.
Yeah, it has a great cast. I just don't know if people will watch based off of the name. You know, Dope Sick. That's kind of a crazy name to
an interesting name.
You know, it just doesn't scream out "watch me." I don't think, but then maybe it'll get people thinking, "What is this?" and they'll click on it. I mean, I just by the cast of people that's in it. If it has Michael Keaton in it, I'm probably going to watch it. So for me, I just don't know if people will hear the name Dope Sick and watch it.
I mean, the themes of the show, it's really heavy. And, you know, and once again, Michael Keaton comes from comedy as much as he's done a lot of drama. And I love him too. I think he's one of the best actors out there. I think there's a lot of potential. It's interesting how Disney can attract so much talent. You know, because obviously that's one of the through lines through everything that's coming out. Is like they got these people, these extraordinarily talented people to be part of these projects. That'll be fascinating to see how well they do and how much they attract people to watch it. I can't wait to see trailers for some of these things. You know, we didn't see footage for a lot of this stuff. And, you know, I want a little bit more before I invest my time into these shows. But based upon, you know, the given information, it's interesting enough to at least explore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then speaking of incredible talent, we have Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, and Regina Hall all starring in 9 Perfect Strangers. Did not give a whole lot of synopsis on that, but just that lineup alone, that's going to be really good.
Well, and Nicole Kidman's doing a lot of great series work right now. So I would say her name alone is good enough to get viewers watching the pilot at least. And we know Melissa McCarthy can hold a series. So and also Regina King.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Regina Hall. Yeah.
She's done fantastic work in the last couple of years too.
just interesting mix of actors. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
True.
I wonder how they're going to gel. That might be entertaining all by itself. Just like, how do they work together? I don't know. So we'll see.
Right. And because we didn't get a lot of synopsis, I went and looked up the book, and originally all of them are supposed to be Australian. So these cast of characters is really interesting to me to see how they're going to stray away from what the book is.
Yeah. So then we're going to go over to FX with Courtney.
So FX did a lot of announcements for, bringing back their staples like Atlanta and American Horror Story, but they did give us a few new shows as well. The new shows they announced, and we didn't really get a whole lot of synopsises on any of them, but there's going to be a show called The Old Man, and then we're going to have a spin-off series of the American Horror Stories, one called At Form, Reservation Dogs, The Last Man. There's going to be a series of, based upon the movies Aliens and Shogun. So what do we think about that? Which one are we excited for?
I don't know. I mean, like, the aliens could be really interesting if they're basing them off the movies. I think a lot of people would watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's great that they're leveraging from the 20th century library. I'm a big Alien fan in general, and I like the fact that they're working with Ridley Scott, who directed the first Alien movie and the last two prequel movies. And I'm wondering if there's a direct connection, because if you watch the second prequel Alien movie, the last one that came out, there's still a gap between that movie and the first Alien movie, which was his goal. He was trying to lead up to what happens in the first Alien movie. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of how they may touch upon that. I don't know the timing of when this particular show takes place. So that'll be interesting. But I know Ridley Scott had ideas for that third prequel movie. So we'll see.
I mean, if they
way,
can connect it, definitely.
I mean, how cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many loose threads right now. So I'm down for that.
Well, the one that I'm looking forward to is the American Horror Stories spinoff, because I'm not usually a horror fan, but I do like the American Horror Story. They ordered 4 more seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, bringing that to 18 seasons, which they said is going to be the longest running comedy show.
That's
Wow.
a long time.
18 seasons. I was like, oh, well, Danny DeVito has a job for the rest of his life, basically. But yeah, and then as far as the newer ones, the Reservation Dogs, I was thinking that they were going to do Reservoir Dogs, because that's what it looked like from the one picture that was there. It looks like it's called Reservation Dogs.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
that
going to be
piqued my interest. Like I said, we didn't get a whole lot of synopsis in the meeting about these shows, but definitely FX is looking to expand their. They said that they're going to have 30 new shows in the next year, so I'm
And these
excited.
are also going to be on Hulu, which ties in with.
Yeah, it's going to be in that FX on Hulu brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're really stretching the Hulu stuff, and I hope we see more library titles like from 20th Century and even Touchstone. I don't know where Touchstone movies are today, but it'd be great to see some of those movies transition over to things like Hulu, which I think makes sense.
Well, I know the lower rated Touchstone ones, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and 3 Men and a Baby, I think was Touchstone. So some of them are on Disney Plus, but not all of them. No.
Yeah, those are
and even
definitely
Miramax.
Right. Well, Miramax is not part of Disney anymore, so
but they were. So don't they still have the rights?
Nope.
No?
Those are completely sold. They sold not only Miramax but also the library. So none of the Miramax movies will really show up on a Disney platform unless they choose to buy them again, which I doubt. So we won't see any Miramax. Which is kind of a shame because there's a few really good movies there.
Yeah, like Chicago.
I was just thinking that Chicago's a great one, and
or the Scream. I know Scream. At least Scream 1 was on Miramax, right?
They were part of Dimension, which was part of Miramax. So Dimension is their sort of horror label, but that falls under the Miramax umbrella. So that's how that worked. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now we have National Geographic.
Okay, so National Geographic, they have a show called Cousteau. Genius, Martin Luther King Jr., Secrets of the Whales, directed by James Cameron, A Real Bug's Life, America the Beautiful, Limitless with Chris Hemsworth, it's a 6-part series, and Welcome to Earth with Will Smith, a 6-part series. I don't know how much we're going to get with that. We didn't get a whole lot, but definitely Chris Hemsworth series and the Will Smith series. Those are some big names.
The Chris Hemsworth thing is weird because the idea is that he's going to stretch himself to somehow extend his health and life and all this stuff. I mean, basically the idea is to live longer. So
Right.
what does that mean? Like, what's he going to do that's different than normal people do? So, and he's clearly not a normal person. So,
Right? He's Thor. I mean, he already does such rigorous training for his role as Thor to beat that up, you know? So to live longer and lengthen the age process. I mean, I know in the sizzle reel, we got him swimming in the cold ocean. So I wonder why he would put himself through that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping nothing too dangerous. We still need him for movies and we still need him to be Thor.
Same thing with Will Smith. His is Welcome to Earth. And he goes into where we saw in his sizzle reel where he was in a deep dive, like not a submarine, but you know, those little underwater boats basically. And he goes into where like the deep depths of where these like fish that you don't usually see are. And I'm like, what's he doing? He's not trained for that. But and climbing up mountains and going into volcanoes and all this stuff. So I think this kind of series I would watch from National Geographic, kind of like Jeff Goldblum's series of like how he explains stuff. I don't think I would watch A Real Bug's Life, although that does seem interesting, kind of like a callback to Disney's nature films back when Walt was doing them, the True Life Adventure series. So it might be interesting to watch that, but me personally, I was not really a fan of bugs, so I don't know, but
I'm kind of the same. Like, I'm not a big bug fan. So to get closer to bugs is not necessarily like high on my list of things, but it's a fascinating idea to use new technology to see that world. So I may pop into an episode or two just to see what it's about. And then I'll decide if I can deal with the 10-legged creatures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did they say that all of these would be on the National Geographic under Disney Plus, or is this going to be the channel?
No, under Disney Plus.
I believe that's the focus for
that
these
was the
guys.
idea.
Not to say that some of this content won't show up on Nat Geo, but I think the idea is that it ultimately is going to live at Disney Plus. You know, real quick before we move on, I like how they leverage names that we're familiar with. So The Real Bug's Life, obviously based upon the Pixar film, but also America the Beautiful, which used to be an attraction at the Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World.
Right, exactly. Definitely, yeah.
So I love those kind of nods to classic Disney things and how they make those new again. And Nat Geo's tradition of really digging deep into these subject matters, whether it's Cousteau or Martin Luther King Jr. or Bug's Life, or even our very own country, seeing things that we don't always get to see. So I'm not actually a huge Nat Geo fan in that, nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm not a nature person per se, but a lot of these topics are fascinating, and I wouldn't mind checking it out just to see, you know, what it's about. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
I'd like
because,
to see that.
I mean, I was going to say that I was maybe hoping that like they would have captured off of the success of The Right Stuff, because I really would like them to see more scripted series like that. I found The Right Stuff to be very fascinating, and I was hoping that maybe they would take that and like kind of develop more about that. Not to say they won't in the future, but I was kind of sad to see just kind of documentaries and like a limited series like with Chris Hemsworth and Will Smith, and not like a scripted series. And they also didn't really announce any like second seasons of what they have, like with Jeff Goldblum or The Right Stuff. So I'm not sure if they're just leaving that alone for now, or if they're just focusing on creating new content and they'll get back to that. I don't know. What do we think?
Yeah, I would like to see them do more of stuff like The Right Stuff. The Right Stuff was a good series. I liked it. I would love a second season on that. But I also was excited to see that they were kind of expanding beyond just the Disney nature films, too. There's a lot of little series in here, too, besides just the Disney nature film. So I was excited to see that, too. Yeah. More of that scripted stuff would be great. All right, Courtney, you want to head over to Pixar Pier to talk about the Pixar from the Disney investor meeting?
Absolutely. They first announced Inside Pixar. So it is a show on Disney Plus right now. I have watched the first 5 episodes. They're fantastic, but they did say that more is coming. So I am so happy about that, just because I love to know the inside workings of studios. So just to see their thought process through everything, like each episode has a different thing that they are focusing on. Like they said, even on the first episode of Inside Pixar, they focused on soul and getting the barber shop scene just right. I'm super excited for this show to be continued, because I was so sad when I was like, oh, that's only 5 episodes or not even 5. I think they said that the first 5 are on there, but I feel like it was even shorter than that. And it definitely wasn't 8. So I was like, but it's not even finished. I'm glad that was, they said that was coming back. Yeah. Right. But what I'm most excited about is we're going to get Pixar popcorn, which is a bunch of mini shorts of characters we already know. So that's great. Right.
I mean, I already thought we were getting that with shorts, but okay. Right? Like Forky asks a question.
Yeah. Forky asks a question.
Yeah, I think that they were probably.
I love that.
Yeah, I think they were probably testing it out with Forky Ask a Question. Can we do this short form? With the animation that quickly, because they were putting it out. They probably had them all done, but they were putting them out weekly for a while. But then they used up all they had. But
I hope they do more of Forky Asks a Question.
Oh, those are great. Yeah.
Those are great.
They were entertaining.
Yeah, they were very entertaining.
They announced Luca, which I had seen a little bit of this, just little trailers. It's going to come out in June of 2021. And it's a friendship story and takes place in Italy. It looked gorgeous. I feel like it's a little bit different from what they normally do.
Riviera. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just about a young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer, including gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. What more could you possibly ask for?
Yeah. They were like, we're done. Yeah, just riding around the city. I mean, Italy's beautiful anyway, so I imagine that they're gonna rely heavily on the cityscapes and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, well,
and oh my gosh,
they're known for their research, right? So everything looks so detailed and amazing.
I mean, who doesn't want to take a trip to Italy and just eat gelato and go on scooters?
I
would. That's why I want to work for Disney. I want to go on the research trips.
Absolutely.
Those are tough. No, not everyone does. Yeah. But then we're getting the hilarious Doug Days from Up. Is this one of the most hilarious characters that they have, with his little talking collar and his short attention span of mind. He is hilarious. So I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, when they first were talking about it before they showed the trailer of it, I was like, okay, he's funny, but what can we really do with Doug? And then they showed him with the puppies. Oh my gosh. That was crazy. That was so cute. And the puppy dog was chewing on his collar and was making him talk in different places. It was great.
Puppies! Oh, puppies! And you caught me. Ow. Sharp teeth, you puppies. Plenty puppy teeth. Puppy teeth. Ow. Oh, so sharp. Now I'm feeling chewed. Otto cachorro. Arretele, show. Basta cucciole. Ow. Puppy teeth. Tiny puppy teeth on me.
So I think they have something with Doug. I think they should have done more with Doug from the beginning. But yeah. Doug is going to be great.
And then we have Turning Red. This is going to be a feature film opening in March 11th, 2022, and introduces Maylee, a confident, dorky 13-year-old torn between staying her mother's dutiful daughter and the chaos of adolescence. And as if changes to her interests and relationships and body weren't enough, whenever she gets too excited, which for a teenager is practically always, she poofs into a giant red panda.
Nah. Genius.
They equated it to like Red Hulk.
I think that's awesome. That's going to be really funny. This is from the Academy Award winner, director of Bao.
Well, then you know it's going to have heart in it too.
Oh,
because Bao made me cry.
Oh my gosh, that was so...
Right? It's just about this little like puff pastry, eat something you eat, the dumpling, and I was like crying.
I know. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good.
And then I think we get to the most controversial thing that came out of this meeting was Lightyear, because everybody was angry that Tim Allen was not voicing Buzz Lightyear, but it's not based off of the Toy Story. It's the original person who the toy was based off of, but everybody got up in arms over the fact that Tim Allen was being casted aside for Chris Evans, which is not true. So I don't know.
No, like when we see Buzz Lightyear in the shorts, the little things it'll be, if they can get Tim, obviously, but it'll be Tim. But I love the idea that we get to see what the toy is based on. And I think people aren't getting that. Everyone's saying it's a prequel. And it's not a prequel. It is. No. It's like when you make a movie and then you make a toy based upon the movie. So you get to see the actual movie that the toy is based upon. So that's what this is. And I think it's such a fascinating concept. I like even that one still image that we saw that he looks like the toy, but he doesn't look like the toy. It was it's cool.
I know. I was really excited about it. And then when the Twitter feed, like, I don't follow Twitter, but like I saw a Yahoo like news report that said the Twitter feed like blew up and people were angry that Tim Allen wasn't the voice. I was like, you guys, it's not about the toy. It's about the man the toy is based upon. So of course he might have a different voice, but the only thing is that's not going to be consistent is the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, the TV show.
That wasn't even Tim Allen.
Well, no, it was Patrick Warburton. So will people, it hasn't always been Tim Allen voicing him anyways, but that led us to believe like that cartoon was the real guy, but he still looked like Buzz Lightyear and a toy. So I don't know if that was just like, they probably won't even, address it even like long down the road because that was Walt Disney Television doing Star Command. So it wasn't Pixar anyway. So
if I were to do an in-universe story around the TV show, The Toy, and Lightyear, the feature, Lightyear would be first. They make the toy, and then they made a show based upon the toy. So that would be my how I would talk around. I'm not sure if that's what is canon, but that's how I would talk around that because to me that makes sense because they do that all the time. They make a toy and then they make a show out of the toy, which would explain everything. So that's why the show sounds like the toy. Even though it's still not the same, it sounds like it. Whereas the movie is kind of its own thing, and they're like, "Oh, it's a popular movie. Let's make a toy out of this." So.
Right. But I think Chris Evans will do a fantastic job with it.
I can't wait. I think he's perfect. I think he's a great voice.
Yeah. And then we have Cars. Mater and Lightning McQueen are going on a road trip. Not much other information other than that. So,
but it's a series. And actually in the rumor mill universe, Corbin Bleu is attached to the series from High School Musical. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it's a TV series, not a movie.
So
He's
it's
voicing one of
literally
the
a road
cars.
trip.
That's
It's a
what it
road
says.
trip.
It says Lightning McQueen and his best friend Mater on a cross-country road trip.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they'd always wanted to do a series with cars, but I don't know. Kids love Cars the movie, so it will definitely fly with that. But I think we have a lot of cars.
If I have like 5 minutes or half an hour or whatever it is, maybe I had nothing better to do, I'll watch one of these episodes, kind of
Right,
thing.
exactly. Win or lose. Now, this was a interesting concept to me because they said that it came about by two people going into a meeting and one thinking it went well and one thinking it went horribly wrong. And so this win or lose, it's all about this middle school championship softball team. So middle school softball team, and it's only going to deal with this 1 week leading up to the championship game, but from different perspectives of the kids. That's really interesting. Kind of like Groundhog Day. Hopefully, they can make a, seasonal show and do more things, not just a softball game, but like more things from different perspectives. But it's a very interesting take on a show.
I love it. I think that it says it's all about human behavior and subjectivity. When I was doing training, these are exactly the things we touch upon, because just because you think something doesn't mean that other person thinks the same way. And I would say that about Walt. Roy E. Disney, Walt's nephew, often said that, I think there's like 11 Walts, because his argument to that was that different people would say something different about the guy. I and not ever to contradict Roy E. Disney, who I think was brilliant, but from my perspective, I think it's the individual and how they take somebody. Because if you're in a meeting with a bunch of people, this is kind of Walt's way of doing stuff. He would never say thank you or you did a great job, or you might say thank you, but he would not say, oh, that was great. You just assumed it was great because there was no complaints. Like if he didn't argue about something, then, oh, it was good. You just understood that, but not everyone feels that way. Oh, why didn't he say he liked it? So Walt would go up there on the storyboard and just go, you know what? This scene isn't working. It's not very funny. Now, different people are going to take that feedback differently. One person who was a big part of that will be hurt personally. I put in 10 hours on those 5 pages and he just ripped it to shreds. He doesn't like me. And somebody else will go like, wow, that's really good feedback. Wow, we could make the scene even better and take it as a challenge. Somebody else will be like, I don't like that guy anyway. Everyone's going to take it differently. And I think this lends right to this story. And it's so fascinating. So we get to see, I'm assuming, one episode or whatever, just this one perspective. And then the next one, we get to see the other perspective on the same thing. That's fascinating. I love that.
That's definitely the take here, I think, because it says that each episode is going to follow a different character and explore the drama of bad calls made on and off the field. Definitely dealing with those perspectives. Each person's going to look at something differently, look at the situation differently. It's going to be very interesting. I think they have a very interesting show with that.
So where can our listeners find you, Drew?
Well, right now, outside of this podcast, which I'm really kind of honored to be on, I don't really know what's going to happen right now. There's been lots of talk about different kinds of things. So just keep your eyes and ears open for D23 things that are happening in the future. Who knows what else I'll be doing just on my own. I've had a podcast myself in the past, Point of Drew, and I hope to get back into that at some point. And I'll keep you guys updated. I guess that's what I have to say.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to all of it.
Well, I think our TV schedules are booked for the next few years.
That was such a fun discussion about everything we are looking forward to on Disney Plus.
Yes, and we want to give a great big thanks to Drew Hayashida for talking with us today. And don't forget to go give him a follow on Instagram. His handle is @PointOfDrew. We also want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rob Dellinger for composing our theme song. And to hear more of Rob's work and see where he will be playing next, please go to his website, alpharhythmkings.com.
We are part of the Skywalking Network, Skynet, where you can also find other great shows like Talking Apes,
Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics,
the Max Effects Podcast,
Resilient Squadron Podcast,
the new Totally Tell Me Everything, which is out now,
and and the flagship show, Skywalking Through Neverland.
Sign up for the weekly Skywalking Network newsletter. The sign-up form is available in our show notes. You can check out all the Skywalking Network podcasts and articles at skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
You can find us on social media at Neverland Clubhouse Pod, at CLT8622, at Kelly Turkel on Instagram, at Cuddles25 on Twitter, and Kelly Turkel and Courtney Turkel on Facebook.
You can also find us in the Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group. Just search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group, request to join, and then answer the questions that pop up. Do it, or we can't let you in. All right, then. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. Join us for our next adventure from the Neverland Clubhouse.